On the criteria for social gatherings, it's a judgment call. We decided to use 250 as Minister Wong explained, because that's a reasonable number. And for those that are larger than 250, if you have not committed the event, we advise you to defer it, because there is always a risk with a large crowd. Even if there are sufficient spacing, there's also an increased risk in terms of the total number of clusters that could possibly be infected. So we do want to keep the numbers small where possible. But if you have already committed the event, then we want to ensure that you have put in place sufficient safeguards to minimize the risk of transmission and the risk of a potential cluster being formed. So I think there are some flexibility, but we will advise those who have planning for events that are larger than 250 to defer them or to delay them or to cancel them. In terms of timing, I do not know how long this outbreak is going to last. But from judgment from our some feedback from experts, including my DMS who mentioned earlier, it's likely to be at least up to the end of the year or even longer. We really cannot tell. And we cannot plan on the basis that this outbreak will be over by a certain period of time, because our plan must be sufficiently flexible to allow us to ensure that we are able to sustain many of our measures over the long term. And in fact, some of the measures that we are putting in place may continue to be in place even after this outbreak, because some of these social habits are good to have, things like washing hands and so on. I think it is important for us to exercise these personal hygiene practices even without COVID-19. So therefore, I think while we say that the end of the year is some planning parameter where we adopt, but we have to bear in mind that there's every likelihood that it may go beyond the end of the year. This is something that we do not know, but it is something that we have to be prepared to do.